I'm here with Hawk a little bit less than 2 weeks before the playoffs set in. And it has been a long season, of course, once again, even though, I mean, we had less games, but it's still always a marathon. So now that the season's done, how satisfied are you with it?
I'm pretty satisfied. We went to Hawaii 3 times. Obviously, we didn't we didn't win any of the tournaments, which um would like to win one of those, but uh we didn't play that well over there. A couple unfortunate circumstances that no one could really avoid. But that's definitely not why we lost. Uh, yeah, like hopefully this time we're the fourth time around to go in Hawaii, just a little bit better. Uh, Stuff goes right, getting there, and everything goes well.
Nah, for sure. How did you like the season format in terms of like maybe the amount of matches and going to Hawaii and everything like that? Is there anything you want to talk about there?
Um, I'm I'm honestly not a big fan of it. Uh, People probably know that already, but I don't particularly like having to travel like going to Hawaii 3 months, 3 times. That's really not ideal. I don't think anyone in the world's doing that right now, going 10 hours every single day, every single month to an island
Yeah.
or just like a complete hotspot to where everyone's outside almost. I mean, there's just like a line everywhere. Everywhere you go, it's just crowded as hell unless you're like not in the city area, but that's where like the tournament is. It's at the university, so everything is really crowded. It's just like I'm honestly surprised no player has gotten COVID yet, but um, yeah, I'm not big of a fan of the format currently. I think having like one big mid-season tournament would have been a lot better to have everyone go to like one place in like Europe or maybe I don't know, but like having one big mid-season tournament would make it more defining. Uh, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, for sure. And there's always these factors to consider. I think your team in particular were pretty vocal about that being an issue. Are there any things other than the travel that we know of that you think are threatening competitive integrity there and that should be improved on or are being improved on?
Um, well, they've announced that they're making sure people in Korea, I mean in China, have to relocate, which is definitely people complain about it in their Discord, and people are vocal about how they should not be able to play in their like home setups. So they adapted that way and made everyone go to like I think it's like a contenders facility where they'll have to play out of. I'm not sure if Phillies have to do the same thing in Korea, but hopefully they have to like relocate in some capacity. Um, but yeah, just being able to play in your home setups definitely gives like a boost. And I'm glad they did something about that.
Right. Now, there was a lot of competition. I mean, you guys went through Hawaii 3 times. I'm sure you guys got a lot of experience also scrimming against all kinds of opponents. Was it like an off tank that you looked at for certain things in order to improve on, or are you generally someone that just, works on their own gameplay based on their own footage?
Um, I watched a lot of my own gameplay, and overall, like, just make sure the team's doing you just look at your team because if you're doing well, if your team's doing well, you're probably doing well in off tank. But there's a couple things I specifically remember, like during like the Reaper Sombra meta. I remember that during the DC for Shock match, I saw like Fury going in, like drawing a shit ton of aggro during that matchup, and they nearly won them against Shock the day before. So I kind of took something from that, but overall, just uh, during these rush metas, Haman's really fucking good at drawing aggro. I don't know if I'm supposed to swear, but he's really fucking good at drawing aggro. And um, I know a lot of people look at how Haman plays the game.
Right. Now, you had a spicy tweet regarding the ability of teams to just copy Shanghai and beat them at their own composition. And you basically said, like, it makes no sense unless you're Dallas to copy that specific comp.
Um, that was kind of like a shady tweet towards like teams like Toronto and Houston, to be honest, because they weren't really able to. pull it off, as you can see. Like they're not in playoffs, they're not able to. Like, they never were able to like pull off a synergistic dive to really be able to do anything. To beat bunker comps, to beat slower tempo comps, or even to beat like even to win the mirror. Like they weren't even able to win the mirror. So that's kind of what I meant by it. Glad's gotten really good at it recently,
For
and um, Glad's gotten to get really good at it recently. So
yeah.
yeah.
No, but my question was more going towards. It's interesting that we're now in a position where, like, playing your own style is a feasible strategy in order to win tournaments. So,
Yeah.
is that something? Have teams gotten better at that, or is Overwatch in a better place to able to facilitate that type of gameplay?
Um, I think, I mean, every team has their own play style. Like some teams like match up well against other teams. Like uh, one team might be better against Rush in a matchup than another team will beat that team. So you can't really look at like a tier list like in that matter. Like every team does better against other teams, but I definitely do think you can play your own style, and that's shown all year that you can play your own style and win games because of that. Uh, it's this is one of the first years where the play up meta is not just Reaper, Doom, Double Shield, or like I guess season one kind of had a little mix of comps, but this is the first year that actually like you can play what you're comfortable on, and you're probably gonna stick to that. It's going to the matches.
Yeah, for sure. How do you feel about your specific playbook and the heroes that you're good at and the comps you generally run? Do you feel like you're playing an uphill battle against some of those comps, or are you in a good position going into playoffs?
Um, I think it's really map dependent, to be honest. About I think, uh, like if we win our map picks, then we'll win like with the series. Like what I saw at Shock last year, not win like they never won like a payload or hybrid or such. I think it was that they never won a payload or hybrid, and I was like, damn, they just won the entire goddamn season, only winning Koths and TCPs, and that just like that's crazy. Like you only have to like win the map picks that you choose and one of the maps that you don't technically if you're seeding. But if you just win on the maps you're comfortable on, or you get lucky and someone picks a map you're good at, uh, your strategy will probably work. Like you, if you feel confident and you're having a good day, you'll just win.
For sure. Now, with so many different styles in the league, is it hard to find accurate practice or adequate practice against the specific comps that you might run into in the specific matches? Or, and generally, also speaking, of course, over half the Overwatch League teams now really don't have a reason to practice. So I assume the amount of practice partners also has decreased. So, how do you even practice at the moment?
Um, just scrimming the teams within our region. Just 5 teams here scrim. Sometimes you can scrim like there's teams that are sometimes willing to play comps for you, but not always. And you kind of just have to like predict what like we're predicting what Chengdu is going to play, but you can't really predict because they haven't played yet. So you're kind of just like getting an overall like feel of the meta, and then once you get closer and closer, you'll be able to figure out where you're going to play, and hopefully you're able to predict correctly. You know.
Right. Now, one big topic for your team is, of course, whether or not Pelican will be able to play. Are you currently thinking that he will play, and are you scrimming with him?
Um. I don't want to answer that.
No worries. So first round, Chengdu. Of course, one of the teams. Again, you guys went to Hawaii a lot, so I assume there are a lot of teams that you want to take revenge on. But Chengdu is one of the teams that sort of had your number last time, of course, for reasons aforementioned. What do you think this time could be different for you guys to be able to win that one?
Overall, we got some of our like heroes back from the hero pools, but even though we got 3 out, like it was still like a somewhat close series. Besides Hanamura is an absolute stomp from their part, but like it was like we held them on second. I mean, we held them on third on Blizzard World, and it was a close Ilios. A couple like one team fight goes our way, we just win that, and hopefully we'll be better shape this time. I don't know, like even though we got 3 out, like I've lost harder than that, you know.
For sure. I think with the exception of Philly, who you've not played this season, you've played every other team. Is there one
Mhm.
in particular you want to meet in the playoffs and maybe rematch or revenge?
Honestly, any of them. Play Glads again, play Shock again. I don't really, yeah, like honestly any team. Like it's obviously we have better matchups. We have better matchups against some teams than others, but I don't really care who we play. Well, it's the finals. Like you have to win if you wanna win. I don't know.
For sure. Then we wish good luck with that, and thank you for the interview.